Alright, so tonight's video, we're going to be rebuilding a pump on a Uni-Plow. So we're going to be working on this one right here. This is a 1997 Western Uni-Mount. We're going to go through all the hydraulic system inside the unit, take the motor off, take the pump out, the oil pump. We're going to rebuild everything, clean it, go through the manifold, clean all the valves. This is one I've been using temporarily while we're going to be putting this one back together and tearing it apart. I've had this one restored and powder coated. It originally came as red like the one behind it, but I'm going to tear it apart and rebuild it. Actually, let me back that up. This one I just did. Now I'm going to, this one I just did is the white one. I'm going to be rebuilding the red one. Again, I'm confused. I've got several of them. But this one we just did last night. I wanted to make sure I had all the parts so that I could rebuild it and put everything, show you guys everything that we're putting in it. So we're actually going to be rebuilding the one in the back, which is still a Uni-Mount, but it's an 8-foot Uni-Mount. This one's a 7.5, so it's a little bit smaller, so this works better for our residential homes. This is better for our commercial lots. The one we're going to actually be rebuilding is this one here in the back that's still connected to the truck. I'm going to take you over, I'm going to unbolt it, get everything all unhooked, and then we're going to get a little closer and show you everything that's all inside it and how to go through it, clean it, rebuild it, flush out all the lines, everything you need to know. Here comes the video. Okay, so I got you guys in a little bit closer. I'm going to go ahead and remove the pump, remove it from the bracket and from the plow itself. I'm going to go set this on the vise, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to show you guys how to actually remove this, to remove everything off of it before we take it over to the vise. So it's just a 13 millimeter. You want to put a bolt, you want to put a wrench over on the other side so that it doesn't spin out of that motor. It's kind of important, because if you don't do that, it'll want to spin through there and kind of undo itself out of the motor, and that's one thing you don't want to have happen. So just take off the nut and the washer. That's your battery feed that feeds your motor. And you got the same thing down here. This is actually a ground. Now sometimes these will actually have a bolt that just bolts right into the motor itself, but this one doesn't. This one seems to have a stud and a nut on it. So just go ahead and remove this. This one's that ground. Now, what you want to remember is when you hook it back up, that there's a wire here. Now this wire is for your headlights and your turn signals. If you don't hook this wire back up, none of your headlights or your operating switch will work. So always want to make sure you get that hooked back up. I've made that mistake a few times when I take this apart. This is your actual ground that goes to your battery itself. So that's one plug right there. And then this one goes over to the control box. So I'll take you over here to the solenoid box and show you how to remove all. Okay, over on this part here, it will either be a 1/4 inch 7 millimeter or a Phillips screw. It just depends on who last serviced it. There's the screw, little Phillips or little flat screw. It's also, you could use a 1/4 or a 7 millimeter. All of those will work. Just depends on what kind of nut fastener they put into there. So this is your cap. And then this is pretty easy to get off. I just use a screwdriver. Now you can take a picture of it, which I recommend if you've never done it before, but the wires actually have memory in them, so when you go to put it back together, it's pretty simple. So your green one goes here, your white one with the yellow stripe, or I guess it would be your, white one with the yellow stripe is up there on that one, and then this one right here is your blue wire, okay? And then you want to disconnect the grounds. Now the grounds are all linked together. They're black with the orange stripe, and they'll all come off as one wire because they all basically share the common ground. So that will remove the harness. Now we're going to come over here and remove these hydraulic lines. So our next step is I have an 18 millimeter right here, and then I have a 16 right here. Now This one spins the nut. This nut spins and the line stays stationary. So just hold the line and you want to spin this part. Hasn't been off in a while, so we'll just keep the line stationary and you want to spin this nut. The guy I bought this plow from up in Wyoming had kind of just repainted it, but I don't really know about if he had it serviced or not. So I always, when I buy a unit like this, I'll always go through the hydraulics and check all the hydraulics. Now this is the line that goes over, I believe it's going over to the driver's side. And if you look in there, you can see that it's got red oil. So a lot of guys will use just regular transmission ATF, which I don't recommend. I've had issues with that in the past, and what I mean issues is it'll freeze. If you have a lot of highway miles that you're driving in between stops, we used to have a lot of storage units that we did, and we'd go from one end of the valley to the other. By the time we would get to the next stop, that line, this would freeze up because the hydraulic fluid from ATF will freeze at a warmer temperature than the blue oil. I always put the SAM blue oil, and you can see that it's red. So this is the wrong fluid to have in this unit. So now we got the hydraulic lines out, we got the solenoids unhooked, we've got the battery unhooked. You can drain the oil either now or what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this motor off, and I'm going to drain the oil just so that it's easier to hold and mount into the vise. So my next step is I'm going to go in and take this motor off, and it's just two 15 millimeter. I don't know if you can see, but we kind of reposition you there. So here's the motor right here. Let me take you over to the other side so you have a better angle. Okay, so on this next step, I'm going to drain the oil out of the reservoir before I pull the motor out. And the reason being is I want the oil out because when you remove this, if it's too full, it'll spill out. Might as well remove it. So this is a specialized socket. It's an Allen socket, and it's actually called a HW6. Now you can just use like your standard metric sockets. They just don't fit as well. But this is a Allen bolt socket, if you can see that. And the drain is right here. So what I'm going to do is I've got this propped up, so I got to be careful that I don't break the prop loose. I'm going to get that in there, and it's always good to kind of tighten it before you loosen it. Kind of helps break it before you go the other direction, because they can be pretty tight in there. Let me see. It doesn't seem to want to fit very well. Make sure I got the right one. Yeah, let me grab a different socket. That one seems to not fit very well, or it's just really tight. Alright, just as I thought, whoever had this before me stripped out that Allen bolt, which tends to happen a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove the motor, get it out of the way. Now this is the electric motor. This will actually drive the oil pump that's inside this reservoir. So it's just two 15 millimeter bolts, and this should be removed. It is kind of heavy, so you want to make sure you're holding on to it. And it might spill out a little bit of oil, but it's just easier to transport it with it being out. Okay. Now I'll take you in to show you that oil that I was talking about. And it should not be red oil. See how it's red? That means that they put the ATF oil in there, which is the wrong stuff. Let me show you what we need to put in there. This is what I put in all of my snow plows. It's made by SAM. There's the logo. It's kind of hard to see there, but anyway, it's a hydraulic brake fluid, or it's a hydraulic fluid that's designed to not freeze under 50 degrees below zero, I would guess. But I've never had a problem with this oil freezing. It's always been really great to have. So I'm going to go ahead and unbolt it now. To unbolt it, you have two bolts. You have one right here, and you got the nut and then the bolt, and the nut and the bolt. Now I believe they're two different sizes. One is a 1 1/8, and the other side is a 1 1/16. Different size sockets to get those off. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Well, I was going to say you just want to let it down slowly so you can drain the oil out. But before my my little mount there broke off. But anyway, so since you can't get the oil out because the drain's messed up, I'm just going to go ahead and tilt it like that. Now I'm taking the pressure off. I just let this thing fall forward. So right now I can pull it out. So it's not extremely heavy. Now that I've got the motor off, it's a lot easier to get this out because I kind of have a handle now. So now let's go ahead and finish dumping it out, because we're going to be replacing all that oil like I was saying, so we don't need it in there. Let's go take this over and put it on the vise.